Mrs. Eleanor McCullen. Mrs. McCullen?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Grassley, and members of this wonderful committee. My name is Eleanor McCullen, and I am honored to be with you today as you consider the nomination of Judge Jackson to the Supreme Court. I also would like to say I am grateful for all of your service to our country. I have dedicated my life in service to empowering women as a sidewalk counselor. I was also the lead plaintiff in an important free speech case, McCullen versus Coakley. Today, I would like to touch on two topics that are very near and dear to my heart. The first, the importance of empowering and supporting pregnant women who feel alone and without options. Two, the importance of confirming judges committed to preserving one of Americans' most cherished freedoms, the freedom of speech. For over 20 years, I have served as a sidewalk counselor, and I offer hope, help, and love to the Boston women and their families. So many women I've met believe that their only choice is to end the life of their baby. It is in that moment of isolation and fear that I have the privilege of offering a different choice, one that empowers and encourages the woman to know she is fully capable of becoming a mom and pursuing a job and going to school and having a successful and happy life. When I see a woman coming down Commonwealth Avenue, I always say, "Good morning, I'm Eleanor. How can I help you?" It's a powerful moment when a woman looks at me and our eyes connect and she stops to talk. It's in that moment I promise her she will never walk her journey alone. Of course, women often share with me their fears and their concerns about their pregnancy. I honor their thoughts and concerns, and I say, I understand. That is a challenge. But I also know you can do it with support, and I will support you with all my kinds of support. I will stand with you throughout the 9 months and beyond. I will hold your hand. I'm able to provide the mothers whatever resources they might need in that moment, including medical care, financial support. Of course, they come to our house. Of course, baby clothes and bassinets. I've had many, 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 many baby showers. Of course, if some of my mothers want to go to school, we're able to help them financially to go back to school. And I just stick with the mothers and their families for as long as they need my help. For me, it's a joy to be able to offer women love and kindness, no matter what time of night or day they might call and need me. And being able to watch the children grow up, children who wouldn't be here had the mother not stopped to talk to me, this is an incredible privilege. In the midst of this joy, however, I know firsthand the pain of being unable to serve women when the government tries to violate our right to free speech. In 2007, Massachusetts enacted a buffer zone. It was a law prohibiting pro-life speakers from coming within 35 feet of the entrance of an abortion facility. As you might imagine, this prevented us from being compassionate and serving women and their babies because the law prevented us from having quiet, intimate conversations with them. I quickly realized that if I wanted to continue supporting women and babies, as a sidewalk counselor, I had to challenge the law. Even though I never thought I'd be part of a lawsuit, I knew I couldn't compromise or allow Massachusetts to rob Americans of our constitutional freedoms. So I stood for women. I stood for the babies and for every American's right to free speech, regardless of their views on life and abortion. I was deeply saddened to find out that Judge Jackson, while in private practice, advocated in favor of Massachusetts' previous buffer zone law in her amicus brief on behalf of abortion clinics. She and her colleagues maligned pro-life counselors, characterizing us in ugly and false ways. Her misrepresentations certainly don't describe me or any of the sidewalk counselors that I have worked with over the years. Indeed, the entire reason I challenged the buffer zone law was because I did not want to shout from a distance or come across as a woman with no compassion. Thankfully, in 2014, all 9 justices of the Supreme Court ruled that Massachusetts buffer zone did violate the First Amendment. When a woman is alone, sidewalk counselors walk with her in that moment. When a child is just minutes from losing his or her life, sidewalk counselors serve as their voice. The unborn have no voice. As Americans, we will disagree on many important issues, but that's the beauty of why our Constitution protects free speech and allows each of us to speak truth with love. My hope is that this precious freedom, which preserves our nation from tyranny and violence, will remain respected and upheld. I would ask Judge Jackson that if she is confirmed to the Supreme Court, that she will choose to uphold all Americans' First Amendment freedoms. And I would like to end with a story. It just happened this week. I was home and the telephone rang and the woman said, "Eleanor?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh, I'm so glad to talk with you." She said, "I was just looking through my baby book of my little 3-month-old little girl. And underneath the picture of the baby was my card that I give out, Hope, Help, and Love." And she had pasted that in the album underneath the baby picture. There was my card and my number. And she called me and she said, "I have to tell you." She said, "Rose is now 18. She's graduating from high school. She's on her way to college. And I want to thank you for being there that day in January. And you talked to me. And I have to tell you, Rose is the joy of our life." So in conclusion, you might ask, why am I so passionate about supporting mothers and free speech? Well, it's called love. And love, you can't argue with that. And thank you so much for listening.